environmental and water resources engineering are exciting, challenging, and contribute to society. In this video, you will see some of the lab experiments engineering students conduct in their classes, during summer camps, and for independent research. You will hear engineering students' unscripted answers to real questions that you may have about this exciting career choice.
Sedimentation experiment represents a riverbed, and we use different shapes of bridge piers. We have the circular, rounded, and rectangular bridge piers, and they produce different amounts of scouring. Scouring occurs when sand is removed around the base of the bridge pier.
The circular pier produces the least amount of scour, but is not necessarily the most economical. The rounded pier produces a moderate amount of scour and is more economical than the circular pier. The rectangular pier produces the most scour and is the most economical.
We create something which is not there. That means we design and construct structures.
If you're looking at the environmental side, you got jobs in water treatment plants, water supply, maybe collection systems like sanitary and sewer systems, and so on. And if you're looking at the water resources side, you got design and construction of dams, weirs, channels, spillways, canals.
I like the part about getting outside and working with the projects rather than sitting in an office all day.
I found that doing group project is the most exciting part of being in engineering. And because I found that I get to meet a lot of people and I can discuss with them how things work in real life.
First thing we did was we took a field meter and we dropped it into the water, just had a probe on the end of a cord, and we put it at different depths in the campus lake to be able to determine where the dissolved oxygen was and how it changed with different depths in the lake. We wanted to measure the dissolved oxygen because we wanted to identify the middle region of the lake, which is called the thermocline. And this region is where an engineer would want to design an intake pipe for a drinking water facility.
I'm looking at a problem which has occurred after the construction of dams on the Illinois River.
I would like to go on to pursue a master's degree in environmental engineering so I could research water pollution.
I'm most interested in groundwater mediation, but I also enjoy collection systems as far as storm sewer collection and design.
What I hope my research leads to is more efficient methods of cleaning up oil spills that have contaminated groundwater.
My older brother, who's 7 years older than me, he's actually an aeronautical engineer. So my family and I decided to just look into engineering, and I chose civil engineering.
My great-grandfather was a civil engineer working for the Army Corps of Engineers. He worked on the Mississippi River around the St. Louis region. And from then on, it just kind of sparked my interest. I always loved being outdoors.
I decided I wanted to be in engineering in high school because I always enjoyed my math and science classes.
I always wanted to be an engineer. Right from a young age, I was extremely interested in math and science, solving various kinds of problems, also being able to involve with new kinds of designs, analysis. So the only thing I was looking up for was to being an engineer.
I had a doll. Her name was Chatty Patty, and when you put different things into her hand, she would tell you what it was, and I always wondered, well, how did she know she's not real? So I found some tools my mother had laying around, and I took her apart to find out. I never really got the answer, but I learned a lot about toys.
This
This experiment is to test to see how much granular activated carbon is needed to remove a sufficient amount of waste dye water from the industry. As the mixture is shaken, the carbon will absorb or remove the dye from the wastewater. Water resource engineering is important to today's world because we need a good supply of drinking water.
There's always going to be jobs for water resources engineers. Our natural resources as far as fresh water is limited, so we have to be able to plan accordingly for the future.
If you're looking at the environmental side, you got jobs in water treatment plants, water supply, maybe collection systems like sanitary and sewer systems, and so on. And if you're looking at the water resources side, you got design and construction of dams, weirs, channels, spillways, canals. So they're pretty good opportunities. I'm interested in doing any one of these.
The type of job engineers expect could be office work like designs, where one spends most of the time in office designing and computing different parts of engineering structures, and the other could be on-site, that means supervision of construction.
Job outlook looks pretty good right now. There's plenty of jobs out there for environmental and civil engineers and water resources and environmental engineering. Every day I check and there's more jobs posted on the internet, so there's definitely a place out there for everyone.
My research is on cleaning up oil spills in the groundwater. The reason that we're dyeing the gasoline red is so they can be seen in the tank.